Sometimes I focus on my own weaknesses. In this video, I'm going to talk about how I learned that weaknesses come with strengths, as demonstrated by the Amazing Digital Circus. But first, some quick disclaimers. This worked for me, but I can't guarantee it'll work for anyone else. I'm not a healthcare professional, and this video is not healthcare advice, a substitute for such advice, or a basis for disregarding such advice or delaying in seeking it. And finally, if you're having thoughts of self-harm, please reach out to someone you trust, such as a friend or family member. You don't need to have watched the Amazing Digital Circus to watch this video. If you're unfamiliar, it is a show on YouTube and Netflix in which 6 human characters are trapped in a virtual reality world and are represented by cartoon avatars. If you do plan to watch the show, bear in mind that this video contains spoilers for episodes 1 through 6 out of a planned 9 episodes. Also, this video was made before episode 7 dropped. I focused only on the 6 human characters from the show. I picked only one trait per character. I don't necessarily think that the traits I picked are the most prominent in each character. For instance, in Gangle, on the bottom right, I picked depression, but I don't necessarily think that her depression defines her as a character. I also don't necessarily think that the traits I picked are unique to each character. For instance, Gangle is not the only character who shows signs of depression. I don't necessarily think that the traits I picked are overall good. For instance, depression is obviously overall a bad thing. I should know, I suffer from it as well. But learning that weaknesses come with strengths helped me accept my depression and even make friends with it. Finally, I have no affiliation with the Amazing Digital Circus. The show, the characters, and all the screenshots in its video belong to Glitch Productions. Moving on to the first character I want to talk about, Ragatha. Ragatha is a classic people pleaser. She wants people to be happy, and she wants people to like her. She is so focused on what others think and what others want that she finds it difficult to identify what she wants. Another big disadvantage of being a people pleaser is sometimes coming off as disingenuous or less than entirely honest. People pleasers can sometimes pretend to like things in order to please other people or to keep a happy face on. And people pleasers can also tell themselves the biggest lie of all, that they don't matter as much as other people. That being said, one of the good things about Ragatha being a people pleaser is that she is genuinely kind and sweet. She really does care about other people and how they're feeling. If only she could be that kind to herself as well. Next up is Zooble. Zooble is detached. They are perfectly happy being solitary and by themselves, enjoying only their own company. On the downside, this can make Zooble come off as aloof, standoffish, a lone wolf who won't participate in group activities unless forced to. But on the plus side, this also means that Zooble is resilient. Because they don't care as much about what others think, they are able to brush it off when others try to mess with them. Next up is Kinger. Kinger is experienced. He is the oldest member of the circus and supposedly the one who's been there the longest. Like some older people, sometimes he will say things that seem random or that make sense only to him. But on the occasions when he is cogent and making sense, he can be extremely wise and share that wisdom with other characters. Next up is Jax. Jax is irreverent. There's very little that he takes seriously. And unfortunately, this means that he can be mean, rude, and thoughtless to the other characters. But at the same time, it also means that he has a sense of humor, even if Pomni seems to be the only one who seems to enjoy it. Speaking of, Pomni. Pomni is anxious. She is a bundle of nerves. And this unfortunately causes her to be very fretful and worrisome. At times, she'll even start to spiral. But her anxiety allows her to also be realistic, to keep things in perspective, and to focus on solutions. Next up is Gangle. Gangle is depressed. When her comedy mask breaks and her tragedy mask is showing, she is in a very sad place. This can lead to her becoming despondent and extremely hard on herself. But when she comes out of that despondency and returns to normalcy, she can experience joy on a level that few of the other characters seem capable of. This is one of the few advantages of depression or sadness. This is also similar to the moral of a certain movie, but I won't say which movie that is because I don't want to spoil the ending of it. Coming back to my weaknesses, I'm forgetful, but focused. I'm stubborn, but determined. And I'm aloof, but self-sufficient. And with that, instead of focusing on my weaknesses, I'm focusing on the strengths that come with those weaknesses. And now it's your turn. What are some other strengths that come with weaknesses in characters from other media, or in yourself? Talk about it in the comments. Be sure and like and subscribe for more. And remember, your weaknesses define you only if you let them.